Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is going to be module number 6. So this module, we're going to be talking about documentation, which is a very important aspect of software development. A lot of times the software developers do not feel comfortable in this aspect of it, but got to think about the insights and the benefits of having documentation in place. It's very important because if you would leave your job and go to another company, or if you would decide to move to a different department, these are things that happen. And usually when something like this happens is groups decide to do a knowledge transfer of information from one person to another. It's usually really quick. And to be honest with you, it's not the best practice. The best practice is have this stuff in place ahead of time, maybe do a review of things. So what we're going to do here is a couple things. This video, we'll talk about how to use AsciiDoc. What is AsciiDoc? How is it beneficial? Now, in this scenario, we're going to be using GitHub. And then we'll also, in other videos, we'll talk about how to add other additional documentation, such as flowcharts, how to embed that within the AsciiDoc. AsciiDoc is a process that is very popular. It's been around for a decent amount of time, and a lot of companies are utilizing it. So this right here itself is, as you see here, this screen I have up is basically an AsciiDoc right here. It has my first repo, but it's not saved in AsciiDoc. So this is just the README file. So we need to create an AsciiDoc. So what I did here is I'm using the dev branch, and what I'm going to do is create a new file, and you could create it from your GitHub account, or you could create it out here. So in this case, I'm going to create a new file from here. And this one will be some type of engagement, some type of module, there could be different documents that you have in place. This one right here might be something specific. So we'll say, we'll call it whatever the name of our application is. So let's say that we're developing something specific to, storage. So I'll call it storage. What does Point Park have? Let's look something up that Point Park's missing, and we'll use that as an example. So let's go to Point Park site. Let's look and see what they have in place. All right, they have, what can we say that could be our thing? We could have a website, an application on Careers at Point Park. You know what? Let's do this. All right, so we're sitting outside Point Park, academic hall, food pantry. There's a food pantry. So we'll say that there's, I think Point Park has a food pantry website. So let's see, Point Park University food pantry. I think this is an existing site. Pretty sure. Well, let's find it. There it is. Pioneer Pantry. All right, so cool. It is a website, and we can see that this application is about the food pantry. So we'll just do that. So we'll call it foodpantry.adoc. And right now what I'll do is, before I save anything, I'll create some type of ASCII information out here. So we want to have information is, we'll do a pound, which we'll do 1 pound, which will be like a highlight, a high overview of what it looks like. So we'll call it a food pantry application. All right, so that's the name of the application. And then we'll have some topics down here. So if you do pound, it gives you a topic. All right, what is the food pantry site? So we'll have something like that. And then what we could do is we could do our first commit, edit an example, or added a header and file name. There we go. And I'll create a new file. Commits to the dev branch. We can commit it out here directly. All right, so now if we go into that file, we should get something like this. All right, food pantry, what is it? Pantry website, and then we can put some information underneath there. And the information underneath there is stuff that the user can use when they're actually utilizing the service. So if we go out to food pantry, for example, we can see, okay, what is it? It strives to activate food, blah, blah, blah. It's, so we can continue perception. It's affiliated with a greater principle. So it is, we could say, in this case, it has to be specific to, what is the website? It's a location to track. We'll say it's a location to track. Let's see here. Oh, Pioneer Pantry. Strives to food security. Let's just copy this. Instead of me trying to copy something, so I'll copy that. And I'll paste that here. Perfect. Now, we have that right here, but now let's see. If we go to click here to place an order, I have an HTML order form. But let's say that we wanted to have an app for it. So let's say that we had an app, this code support a web app, for example. We could come down here and say something like this. What mobile operating systems does the pantry reside on? So, and you could have something like this, and then you could say it's available, which it's not, but this is a project that one of my classes are going to do. It's available for both iOS and Android. Then maybe you could have this right here. Something like this. What platform was the app developed on? And you could have different answers. You could say version 1.0 was, and you can put a height thing here. You could do something like this. Version 1.0 was developed on Cordova platform. Maybe version 1.1 was developed on iOS framework, native framework. And version 1.1 was developed on Android native framework. Something like that, just to give an example. And then you could add additional information. And this is what I'm looking for you when you do your website. I'm looking for you to provide this type of information. So we have this information here. Maybe another thing is something that in your website that you'll develop, which will be good. You could copy and paste some of this stuff right here. We'll copy this and we'll do what programming languages were utilized. That's easy. So you could put them across. You could do HTML, you could do CSS, you could do jQuery, you could put SQL, stuff like that. And I'll save that and I'll put updated the programming languages. And there you go. Now you have some food, you have some information. Now, another thing is if we wanted to do, let's say that we wanted to add images or other information, we wanted to use variables. Variables could be things that are utilized across the board. So in the next video, I'll show you how to use variables. I'll show you how to add images to your doc as well, and some other additional information. But this is just a first slide of it to get it started. And this is just an example. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon. Goodbye.